Ladies and gentlemen, I once again come to you with another video. This time with some more Destined Rivals because I just feel the itch. I got the itch. And as you guys know, I already did pull the Mewtwo a couple weeks ago now, and it's been great. The journey finally ended. But I have some boxes left over that I never opened that I've been saving for a rainy day. Everybody knows if you're a collector, you gotta have some reserve boxes and packs when like the itch kicks in, and you just need to like feel the serotonin hit your brain. Hopefully, if you pull good cards. And today is that day for me. So we're gonna go ahead and hop in to another Destined Rivals box. I'm actually a big fan of this set. I still think this is one of the best sets that they released in modern Pokemon, to be honest. What else rivals it? It's weird because I don't like a lot of the sets that people have been obsessing over. Like, I don't like the prismatic stuff. I think the last good set prior to that was probably Evolving Skies. But what I hate about Evolving Skies is how awful the pull rates are. Evolving Skies is dope. Not because of the Umbreon. As you guys know, I'm like a big Umbreon hater. Not the Pokemon, but the card itself, the Moonbreon. I love Evolving Skies because there's so many hits. You got Rayquazas in there. You do have Umbreons. And every hit is beautiful. Except for you're not going to pull them most of the times because the pull rates are so bunts. Outside of that, the next set that I really liked was Silver Tempest. And that one is only because you have Lugia inside it. It's a fantastic Lugia. I mean, just look at my boy over here. Diving over the ocean, over this boat. This is the creme de la creme. Is that how you say it? Of modern Pokemon. Just look how beautiful this art is. This is what I was waiting on when they started doing these amazing like alt arts in Pokemon and modern, to have like Lugia get the respect that he deserves. And yeah, outside of that, I have not been interested in a lot of stuff. I didn't care about Surging Sparks. I didn't care about what was the other one that people were opening like crazy. I didn't care about Journey Together. I thought it was buns. It's funny because Journey Together got super hyped up because Lily's inside there, and a lot of people were like, oh my god, stonks. What y'all don't understand is the reason why Journey Together was so massive in Japan is because Japan loves Lily. You put Lily in anything, the set's gonna blow up. But here, nobody cares about Lily. So that's what happened. It's like people are like, oh my god, this Lily's gonna be crazy. If it's this much in the Japanese side, it's gonna be that much in English side. It's like, nobody cares about Lily over here. I mean, you might have some people that care about the character, but in general, they don't. But this set, like, come on, bro. We have Cynthia and Garchomp. You have Giovanni and Mewtwo. You have the Moltres. Give me the Ho-Oh and Ethan. Bro, you cannot tell me that there's a set that came out that rivals Destined Rivals. I said what I said. Let's open some packs. Let's pull a Mewtwo. Let's pull actually the Garchomp more than anything. And maybe a Ho-Oh. I don't know. Let's pull something nice. I just remembered something. The pull rates in this set is actually awful. I might walk away upset by the end of this video. It's possible. See what happens. All right, first one, we got nothing. Okay, we got a Olive. There's a code for somebody who wants that. This is going to be painful. I just realized one of the reasons why I stopped enjoying opening Destined Rivals is because the pull rates were buns. But to be fair, I just had bad luck. I've seen a lot of people open up so much Destined Rivals and just have the craziest luck. I mean, end of the day, you're just gambling with cardboard. And just, it is what it is. But man, how painful it was to go through this set for the first couple of weeks. I actually started hitting that point where I'm like, I'm just not going to pull anything. I don't think I will. There's just no way. We are going to walk away with nothing from the looks of it. And then the Mewtwo showed up when you least expected him. But now that I pulled the Mewtwo, I feel like there's no pressure to pull him again, you know? If I remember correctly, the last couple times that this happened, usually I'll finally, after a billion packs, pull my chase, and then I pull it again right afterwards. Yeah, I remember if you're around, was it the Hidden Face Charizard? Yeah, the Hidden Face Charizard, how long it took me to get that. And then when I finally got it, I got it literally in the next video again. Crazy. So yeah. Oh no, I hope that doesn't happen today. See what we got. Nothing, okay. As you guys know, it's gonna be in that second slot if we end up pulling anything. The big chases for me right now are definitely the Garchomp. I went to a card show recently, and I tried to actually find a Garchomp with Cynthia's Garchomp. I found one, and as you guys know, I'm a fan of grading. I want to get the best possible condition of the card. It had the ugliest ding in the corner, so I have to be like, you know what? I think I'll pass. I'll pass. There's also that possibility where you can be like, well, yeah, there's a chance that, you know, PSA might give it a 10. I don't care about fake 10s, bro. If I get a 10, I want it to be a real 10, man. That's what I said. There's so many people that will pull cards, and like they'll be all super awfully off center. And what also irks me is you'll see this happen in like ribbon chips sometimes. It's like, oh, this is a $1,000 PSA 10, and then you see like the worst centering, the worst corner hits, and it's like, bro, why are you lying to your customers, man? Be real with them. Anyways, I want to get a nice one. Ooh, Misty Psyduck. That is a good one. A fantastic one, actually. I still have the ones that I pulled that I still awaiting from PSA, which we'll probably not going to see for a couple of weeks. But honestly, getting all the Misty Psyducks is fine, because then I can get rid of those and find something cooler. I'm not a fan of Misty and Psyduck in general, but someone likes it. So if I can get some 10s, I can trade it towards something cool, you know? Imagine you get 3 PSA 10, I almost said Cynthia, Misty Psyducks, and they can trade them to, like, I don't know, PSA 10 Garchomp with Cynthia or something. It's possible. Nothing, okay? Speaking of Garchomp, is this a sign? I'm not gonna lie to you. I love the Galaxy pattern. Is that what we call it? Galaxy Hollow Foil? The sparkliness that they added over the EX cards. But that's how like the cards used to be for us when we were kids on like the regular Hollow, obviously. But it's cool to see that they have that in these cards nowadays. All right, on to the next one. Yo, that Garchomp EX, I feel like is a good luck sign. I feel like we're gonna pull one in this video. You know what? Manifesting a double Garchomp with Cynthia Garchomp, and Giovanni's Mewtwo, Team Rocket Mewtwo, in a singular box. It's happened before for me. If you guys were around, oh, and I had to record that video. Fortunately, because I didn't record, it didn't happen, but no reason to make this up, I guess. I had that box from, what was it? What was the set where you have the Gengar? The Gengar one, the crazy Gengar that everybody wants. I pulled the Mew that I wanted and the Gengar in the same box. And that was probably one of the craziest boxes I've ever pulled for modern Pokemon. And of course, I wasn't recording it because at the time, no one really cared about it. And I've already opened it up at that point where I'm like, doesn't matter, I'm gonna pull nothing anyways. And then, yeah, pulled both in the same box. So that was cool. And would have been a great video. But it is what it is. Plot twist, I actually did record it. I just don't remember. Possible also. It's been so long. I mean, I kind of took a big break on the channel if you think about it. I wouldn't really call it a break. I just wasn't opening stuff. And then when I wanted to open stuff, it was hard to get Pokemon product all of a sudden. It's like I missed the initial blow up again of Pokemon recently. It's like when I took a break and I got bored of opening stuff and came back, I'm like, when did this popularity happen? What happened? When did sneakerheads join the Pokemon community? What is all these scalpers now? Had me thinking it was another pandemic happening, a lockdown. Quilava, Nidorina, Baltoy, Wood. What is an Ogerpon? That's supposed to be a Pokemon with like one of those like demon masks. And nothing but a Nidoking. Okay, all right. I hope my hit is not the Electivire. That would definitely hurt. Don't really care about that. Why does the Electivire not have a full art? Not full art, but like an SIR. I don't think about it. I feel like every card that has like a full art should have. Well, let me not wish that, because ain't nobody want to pull that. If that was an option in here. Plot twist, there is one, and I'm about to pull it, and it's gonna ruin my day. And Typhlosion. Okay, what it is. It's gonna go back over here and dive right back in. But yeah, I love this set. I think it's really underrated. I know it's kind of crazy to say it's underrated. The reason I say it's underrated is because, like, again, it had its initial blow up when, you know, Team Rocket was coming back for the first time as a set. And a lot of people compared it to the OG Team Rocket set from the 2000 era. And then when he came out in Japan, and then it's kind of like he just did this thing, whatever. I think people over anticipated it. And when it didn't do like the reach that they thought it was going to do, it also didn't have a Charizard, people were like, that sucks. But it's like a preemptive thing. Can't say this set sucks when there's so many banger cards in here. On top of that, there's a lot of playable stuff too, so it's like an all-around great set. Like I don't understand. You know what it is? I'm gonna just say it. I think it's just all these like new people who don't really know Pokemon, who are just hopping in and anticipating stuff and trying to predict markets and stuff. That's what it was then. It was those people. And as I said, their opinion doesn't matter. I can do your business and stuff. I just don't care what you say. And nothing. Okay, all right. So we're just not doing too hot right now. Just getting a lot of bulk. What even is the set anymore at this point? Surely it's gone down since the last time I opened them. When I opened them before, it was like 200-ish per box. Can we look it up live? Let's look it up live. Now I'm just kind of curious because Pokemon, Destined Rivals, booster boxes. A booster box of Destined Rivals is going for $300. Oh, there was a bit of a spike recently, and now it's kind of around. It's still pretty high. I'm not even gonna lie. $300 for a box is nuts. All right, let's pull a Mewtwo real fast. Here we go. Mewtwo, reverse. Or we'll pull nothing. Pull nothing indeed. Fire for good luck, I think. Maybe, hopefully. All right. I will say though, not having a Charizard in this set was probably the best decision a Pokemon company could have made. And the only reason why I say that is because it would have been so much more annoying to get the set. Charizard is one of my favorite Pokemon, keep that in mind. And I would love to see a Team Rocket's Charizard come back. But at the same time, not at the cost of not being able to get product. I'll get something back here. Not at the cost of not being able to get product. That would be so annoying. It was already hard as is. I keep that in mind. Like, it was nuts to get Destined Rivals in the beginning. Imagine if there was a Charizard. Number one, it'd be the most overgraded card of all time. It'd be like top 1 million by now. And the boxes would be like 500 a box. And keep that in mind, it's all off of speculation too. Ooh, Zamazenta illustration rare. Take that. Yeah, it would have all been off of speculation because a lot of people would have been like, yeah, this is time to hop into the Charizard that we missed 25 years ago. It's not how it works. That Charizard is like pop 100 or whatever. This Charizard is gonna be pop 50,000. Yeah, it's something that a lot of people that are only like an investor bro don't understand. It's like Pokemon is being treated as like a short-term thing right now. If that makes sense. And what I mean by short-term is a lot of people are like buying these slabs to sell to each other, in hopes of convincing enough people to buy this so they can resell later as an investor piece. And it works, unfortunately. But the problem is, and I keep saying this, is a lot of these cards are pop 1 billion. Bro, when I went to that card show, I didn't see a single vintage Pokemon in PSA 10. Like a good one in PSA 10. Every single card that I saw, actually I think I saw like 1 or 2, but they were like kind of whatever. Every single card that I saw was like a PSA 7, PSA 8, a couple of 9s here and there. Every single 10 that every single table had were all modern. Keep that in mind. You can literally, if you're looking for a PSA 10 modern card, you can go to one table, go to the next table, go to the next table, come back to the one table, probably negotiate because it's like 9 other sellers in the same row all have it. Whereas with old Pokemon, like for example that Lugia from Neo Genesis or Charizard, you know, those cards in such low quantities that you won't even see those in those massive card shows as a PSA 10. You might here and there, but like for the most part, you won't. So the reason why old Pokemon is so expensive and sought after is because the pop is so low. You know, if PSA 10 Shadowless Charizard, first edition, I think the pop is 125 PSA 10s at least. I say at least because you never know if any of those 10s prior to that got damaged, they got crossed to other companies. At least 125 exist. That's why it keeps selling for like $300,000. In comparison to like Umbreon, that's popped 20,000 in PSA 10. And PSA 9 has another like 30,000. And then PSA 8 got like another 30,000. Like, this is what I mean when I say it's over inflated. It's just so many that exist. And a lot of people just don't really get that. So they're being sold these lies, essentially, that, you know, oh, you'll sell for $1 billion. Oh, Gold Mewtwo! You'll sell for like $1 billion one day. I mean, you might. You never know. Maybe the hype will still go on 20 years from now. People still trying to do the same thing. But for the most part, it's like these cards are just like so many exist, man. This is sick. Let's leave that right here for the rest of the video. So many exist that like imagine the floodgate that would open when finally everybody decides to sell their Umbreon all at once. First of all, no one's gonna sell it on eBay. And what happens is this one person will lower their price, then someone will lower their price, and someone else will lower the price, and it just creates this like loop or this $3,000 PSA 10 now is being pushed for like $1,000. Like, that's when a bubble bursts. Because again, it's been so many. Whereas with the older cards, so little exists and barely any sales ever happen. Ooh, MC's hype. Not really liking this box though. But yeah, that's the big issue with like modern Pokemon that a lot of people don't really understand as much. And one of these days, it's going to burst open and it's going to be a problem. I mean, again, you look at Lugia, PSA 10. I think the pop is 45. How often have you seen a Lugia sell? And by the way, when I say how often have you seen a Lugia from Neo Genesis sell, I mean like a good one. The last couple of Lugias that I've seen in PSA 10 were so terribly misgraded. They were like, you can literally see print lines on them, which again, Neo Genesis is known for. You can see awful center, you can see corner dinks, and it's like, how did this happen? But because somebody at PSA that day decided to have, you know, a bad day or they're rushing it, I don't know what happened. They put out a PSA 10, the owner got it, they realized it was awful, they sell it in the hype of the card. And then, you know, no one's gonna wanna pay $80,000 for a card that's basically a glorified 9, so they sell it for like 40 or 50,000 because that one person that bought it is now gonna scam somebody out of their money down the line. That's why I always say, whenever you get cards in grade, don't just look at the grade, actually look at the card. Because like, sometimes every grading company, not just PSA, every grading company can make a mistake. And there's a possibility your PSA 10 might not be a 10. And then there's the collectors, air quotes, call them investors really, who are like, I don't care, it's just PSA 10. It's like, but it's not a PSA 10. Those are the ones who they just know that they can just trick somebody into buying this card down the line. Scammer gets scammed, basically. Yeah, that's why you see a lot of these cards sell for so little sometimes. And then like the people who are like the investors will panic, like, oh my god, the card is crashing. It's like, no, it's not the card's crashing. It's a dog shit copy of the card, man. I remember in Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Magician Girl, Magician's Force, the very first one it sold, that came out. I remember it sold for like $8,000 one time when the value was around 12 or 13. And people were like, oh my god, the price crashed. And I saw it. And I remember I was looking at it, I'm like, this is the worst copy of this card I've ever seen. The name is literally scratched out. It says Arc Magician Girl. The D was gone, essentially. Because back then, the secret rare foil on the name was so bad that, hold on. The secret rare, there's the secret rare name on the foil was so, like, easily to scratch off. Even just breathing on it, like, killed it. And somehow, that card was a 10. And I'm like, how is this a 10? Somebody bought it. They're probably like, yeah, I got a deal. Yeah, you got a deal for a PSA 8, essentially. But it says 10. And I'm sure they probably, like, went down the line and sold that car for like 9-10 grand and made some money back. And then some poor soul probably didn't look at the name, they only looked at the number, bought it. Happens all the time in collectibles, unfortunately. Yo, this box actually is not that bad. Got the gold Mewtwo, a full art Ho-Oh as well. Kind of fire, not gonna lie to you. But I don't think we'll get an SIR. From my experience, if you get like a full art, you're not going to get something super fancy. And this is my knowledge off opening basically like more than 2 cases worth of boxes. But hey, we're having a nice little discussion, so it's a win. But yeah, next time you go to a card show, or you're trading somebody, you're buying something on eBay, make sure you check every aspect of the card. The beauty of PSA, they upload the cards in super high res, so you can always look up at the number of a card and see how good the card actually is. That's what I do. Every time I'm buying a card or trading for a card, I go to the PSA website, I look up the cert, I scan the QR code, or not the QR code, but the barcode, and I'm like zooming in, I'm like making sure it's good, you know, no random like things and stuff, because unfortunately, there will be mistakes. And before you hit me with it, that's why AI grading's better. AI grading sucks, bro. I'll tell you why, because I've seen way worse fuck-ups with certain companies than I've seen with, you know, human error still happens. Like, ones that I've seen, like, yikes. I've seen PSA 6 equivalents pass on as PSA 10s, not with PSA specifically, but other companies. And I'm like, how do y'all grade a card at 10 with a literal crease on the back? PSA just is the most consistent, to be honest. When I say most consistent, I mean they also have errors, obviously, but they're the most consistent in, you know, you know what to expect with them, if that makes sense. All right. And then there's gonna be also the discussions like, why even grade? Just put them in a binder. The reason why is because it's nice knowing that once you have a card that's in really, really good shape, it's graded like a 10, a 9, or whatever, and it's forever gonna be protected in that case. The thing about binders is what a lot of people don't realize is your binders are not that safe. The amount of people that I've seen like, oh, I had this card that I've been keeping my binder for 20 plus years. I'm like, okay, cool. All those cards are probably like 6s, 7s, and 8s now because a lot of damage could have gone through, you know, whether it be moisture, whether you got the binder ring dings on the side, when you're flipping through the binders, you're potentially damaging the cards, stuff like that. Whereas in encapsulations, your card is kind of protected for the most part. Woo! Put that over here. But yeah, that's why I like grading. It's like once you know a card is good enough to be a 10, it's just kind of protected in there, and it's just nice. It does take up more space, obviously, than a binder and some top loaders. But you know, again, I'd rather my card not be destroyed down the line because, again, binders are not the best way to store it. I mean, you can also be very, very careful. You know, not to say that binders are like, you know, doom or gloom for cards. But yeah, kind of keep that in mind. Also, as a preference too, it's nice to have a card in a slab. There's something about a card that's just like slab that it just feels nice. All right, let's finish it up. Maybe I'll come back with another Destined Rival videos in the next near future. I'm not pulling in an illustration rare or the fancy ones. SIRs is not as fun as pulling all this stuff. It's like quality over quantity. I want the quality rather than the quantity. Unless we wrap it up right now by pulling Mewtwo. Damn. Not. I think I pulled enough hits. There's no way in hell we're gonna get anything else. There's no way. Also, I pulled that gold Mewtwo so many times right now. I'm just like, it's nice. It's a nice Mewtwo. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a very, very clean one, but I pulled like 4 of them at this point. Damn. Yeah, we're gonna get nothing else. It is what it is. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Leave a like in the video if you enjoy the stuff. I see you watching the video. Hey, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. Got fun, of course. I always take it as if you don't like the video, that means you just didn't like it. You watched it, but you didn't like it. In which case, you can tell me how to make these better. If you did enjoy it and you had fun, you know, opt in the discussion. Feel free to leave a like below. So we can do this again. Look at that, Gyarados into Gyarados. So we can do this again in the near future, and also technically helps the channel and stuff like that. It's free to you. Think of it that way. All right, last one. Can we get like one last banger? Probably not. We have so many hits here. There's no way there's gonna be anything else inside this, especially not a Garchomp and Cynthia. Technically, there was a Moltres, but these are not hits. Stop saying this. The amount of times I've seen like flips. Again, I feel like Rip and Shippers do this all the time. That's a hit. It's not a hit, bro. I just paid like $10 for your pack to get a $1 card. It's not a hit. Stop saying it's a hit. It's not a hit. You know what's a hit? These, that, this. But these $1 EX cards, it ain't it. It's a really nice looking Mewtwo. How does it look? Dude, Pokemon card quality by the Pokemon Company is so much nicer in the last couple of years than what we used to experience. Opening up vintage was so rough, you know, back in the day. Even now, if you find some old packs, it's rough. You're gonna usually pop out a PSA 8, 7 right out the pack. But this is nice. It's nice. But also, this is like a pop 1 billion right now in PSA. I don't think anyone's even buying it, so I can't even use it as like trade fodder, even if it becomes a 10. But yeah. Anyways, let me know your thoughts, everything we discussed, and I'll see you guys in the next upload. Peace.